Well, guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to our session, the second part of our session number 4. Of course, we will continue working on our unit 10. Let me share the whole screen. And the second part, we are going to talk about, well, of course, the usual topic, talking about like hypothetical situations. As you already know, we will be talking about like the second part in terms of language. Before we actually start, just like 1 minute thing to, let's say, refresh our memory about. Guys, remember that next week we have our exam, once again, the final exam. So during this week, probably, well, according to my agenda, will be on Thursday. We will rearrange once again how we will be working on the speaking part, as you already know, the parameters. One part is individual, the other part is in groups. So the idea is to make sure that you work with the person you want to be working with. I know that probably during these 3 exams, some of you have been working with the same person. Maybe some of you want to change, I don't know. The ones that are new, of course, they don't know the person they can work with. But anyway, we will go through the similar exercise that we have already done, which is deciding you guys, the person or the people actually, because it's groups of 3, you will be working with. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to begin with this activity so I can give you like a couple of minutes before I actually take attendance. As I was telling you, we will continue on unit 10, and probably you already noticed on this lesson because of the big title that we have in here, it says, what would you do if you were invisible for a day? And that's the question that I'm gonna ask you in this moment. I'm gonna send you the link to the chat. And while you take the time, of course, I don't want you to expand. The idea is not to be, as I always say, I don't want to be nosy, you know, like you have to tell me your very own personal opinions or something very general, you know, something very short, very precise. Remember that we're just like brainstorming. We're just starting the activity. We haven't gone like through the most, let's say, deep parts of the topic yet. So first of all, something very general. Once again, what would you do if you were invisible for a day? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes and then I will take attendance. Let's start. Well, guys, for the ones that have just arrived, I started with this question. I haven't taken attendance yet. I was waiting like a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, I'd invite you to answer this question that is part of our unit 10, page 100. What would you do if you were invisible for a day? Something very short, very precise. Okay, guys, time's up. First, I'm gonna take attendance and then we are going to have a look at the answers that you shared for this question. Give me a second. Today is the 6th. Saray Acevedo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrés Álvarez.
Hi, teacher.
Okay. Joelia Ayala.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrea Vaca.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Gilbert Cárdenas. Gilbert is not here for the moment. John Carrero.
Here I am, teacher.
Okay. Brian Cordero.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Stephanie Córdoba.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Silvia Alejandra Durán.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Yudilicet Liscano. Wait, not here for the moment, maybe. Diana Lisset Lozada.
Hi, teacher. I'm here.
Hi, Diana. Luisa Fernanda Paredes.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Luisa Fernanda Pérez.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Mayra Juliet Pinzón.
Present, teacher.
Very good. María Alejandra Plata.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Harold David Rodríguez.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Harold. Angélica Stephanie Sandoval.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Daniela Fernanda Sierra.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Ana María Velasco.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Jennifer Jimena Vera.
Dear teacher.
Okay. Natalie Joana Pérez.
Dear teacher.
Okay. Cristian Josep Albarracín.
Here, teacher.
Okay. And Daniela Lozada.
Present, teacher.
Okay, very good. Let me make sure that I didn't forget anybody. So for the moment, the ones that are not here are Gilbert and Judy Lisette. That would be it. Very good. Okay, let's continue. Let me share this part in particular. So the idea was for you to share what you would do if you were invisible for a day. Of course, we continue on the same line of our unit 10. As I was telling you at the beginning of the session, we will be focusing, let's say, our attention talking about hypothetical situations as this one, of course. Let's see. Very general. Enter prohibited or dangerous places. If I not be able to choose a place that will be very useful, just annoying people. I'm sorry, but I don't get the idea. If I'm not able to choose a place that will be really useful, just annoying people. No entiendo. I'm sorry. Am I too tired to understand? I don't know if the person who wrote this one would like to explain a little bit the idea, but I don't get it. Lo siento. If you want to expand, let us know. If I were invisible, probably I would camouflage in a cartel and recollect proof for process. Entonces sería to process them. Okay. If I were invisible for a day, I would play jokes to my friends and family or travel somewhere I would like to go for free. I would make some jokes at home. I would like to be in the White House with the daily meeting of the US president, listening all the secrets. That's funny. Go to my favorite makeup shop and get all my favorite products that are very expensive. Go to the most expensive restaurant and not pay. Okay, you're fun. Maybe I see things that normally we can't. I would go and visit forbidden places. I guess I had already read that one. I would eat my favorite food all day. Okay, because if you're invisible, you wouldn't get weight, right? I would like to go for free food. Troll, of course. I would love to visit a near city and enjoy the fact of being alone for some hours and experiencing how I could. Primero sería el I y luego el could porque ya es una oración dentro de una pregunta. How I could feel when no one is seeing me. It would be strange. I've always been curious about what goes on behind the scenes in a restaurant, in the office, in other people's homes. What do they do when no one's watching? I would be a stalker for a day. Okay. Maybe I will probably travel to other country, and maybe it's probably that I enter places that I haven't seen and visited before. Nos toca mantener la concordancia en tiempo por lo que está el auxiliar haven't. Entonces, sin, pero, bueno, realmente en past participle y visit debe mantener el mismo alignment. Haven't visited before. Nice. I would enter to places where I have to pay, like amusement parks, museum, and other types of parks. Well, guys, thank you very much. Of course, everybody has a different opinion. Not everybody shared because you're supposed to be 21 and only 16 shared. But anyway, thank you guys for providing your perspectives. These are like the, let's say, opinion of the people that we have here in the book, okay? Of course, I know that you prefer to read it from the book. Remember, guys, that we're talking about pages 100 and 101. We're going to read, of course, the comment. You are going to help me as usual. And while we read them, I want you to, let's say, analyze the information, because the idea is that then you're going to answer the following questions. Question number 1 says, well, the first one that we have in here. Which answer is similar to yours? And then you're going to share which do you think is the most interesting, of course, from your opinion, from your perspective. Let's read the 6 comments. As I was telling you, you are going to help me as usual. Stephanie, please, could you read the first answer that we have in here?
Sorry, teacher, I'm going. The first, I get on a first class flight to Cuba. It was invisible. I've always wanted to go there, but I got no idea how I get back.
That would be it. Answer number 1, Stephanie. Thank you very much. For the moment, we're just reading. Let's see how similar they are to yours. Let's have a look at the second one. Joelle, please, could you read number 2?
If I was invisible, I would follow my boyfriend around all day, and I would check that he doesn't flirt with anyone. I will also listen to what my friends say about me when I'm not here.
That would be it. That's number 2. Let's read number 3. John, could you read it, please?
Yes, teacher. Number 3. Do I have to read the image? I would definitely play. Yes, that one?
Yes, that one.
Okay, so I would definitely play a few tricks on my friends. If they couldn't see me, it would be really fun. Then, who knows? Maybe I'd rob a bank and I run away with the money, just joking. Hilarious.
Okay. Let's have a look at number 4. Sarai, please, could you read it?
Yes, I follow around someone mega famous, like the president or like the president or a Hollywood star, and I find out what their life is really like.
That would be it. Thank you very much. Ana María Velasco, number 5.
I don't know. I wouldn't cross the road. That's for sure. If I were invisible, someone might run me over.
Mm-hmm. And let's finish with number 6. Brian, could you read it, please?
Well, if I were invisible for a day, I would take my revenge on a girl from school who used to bully me. I will stand next to her, and every 5 minutes, I will do something weird to scare her.
That would be it, Brian. Thank you very much. Okay, so from the 6 comments that we have in here, I'm going to ask 3 of you guys, because there is also a second part that I want to ask you. If it's similar to your answer, and for you, from your perspective, which would be the most interesting? It doesn't have to be the most clever, you know, just like the one that you consider interesting from your point of view. And I would like to start with Daniela. Ah, no, ¿cuál Daniela? Diana, sorry.
Okay, teacher. For me, well, the most similar to my opinion or my election is number 3, because
Okay.
because if I was invisible for a day, I maybe make some jokes to my family or my boyfriend or my friends, and just that. I'm not
Interested?
interested in the others possibilities.
Okay.
Maybe the next question also, teacher?
Yes, Diana.
The most interesting maybe could be number 4, but if I had the possibility, I don't do it. I just think that maybe it will be interesting, but I don't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay, Diana, thank you very much. Christian, what about you? The most similar and the most interesting.
The most interesting, maybe the last one and the third one. The first one will be a little similar, but they have the same problem. And the problem is not only how to get in somewhere, I mean, by taking a flight or something like that, but actually what you're going to do when you get there.
Okay.
Because the problem is if you don't have the right currency, is useless.
Okay, interesting. And is any of those similar to yours? I mean, when yours like the answer that you typed in the Mentimeter, or you didn't type yours?
No, I type mine, but
yeah, remember that it's anonymous, so I don't know which
yeah.
one you wrote.
But no, I don't see it. It's something similar. So that is exactly the same.
No, it's not. Okay, yeah, that's the thing, that none of those are similar to yours. Okay.
No.
Okay, Christian, thank you very much. Let me ask now, Mayra Plata, which is similar, which is interesting.
Hi, teacher. The most similar to me is the number 4, because I think the famous people, they have very interesting life, or probably not. You never know. But I always curious about that. Like specific people who, like presidents or artists, because I would like to be like that someday. And that's the most similar to me. And the most interesting is the number 1, because of course I would like to take a flight in like Thailand or something like that, a completely different country, to know more about the culture and place, but by free will be great.
Okay, very good. And one more, Harold, what about you? Most similar, most interesting.
Hi, teacher. I guess that
Hi.
maybe the most similar to me is the third one because I think that he has a good sense of humor. So
Okay.
I guess that maybe I could be him. And I guess that the more interesting is the second one because I think that is we always want to know what people think about us, and even when the people is near to me, and for that I guess that is the could be the more interesting.
The most interesting. Okay. Harry, thank you very much. Well, guys, of course, we already read all the comments. Everybody, including you, have a different perspective. This is a question that is going to lead us to analyze the topic of tonight, to be more precise. We already read them. I don't think that we need to go all over again. You already know what they are about. The question is, are the speakers describing real or imaginary situations? What do you think, guys? Are they real or are they imaginary?
Are describing an imaginary situation because this is something that is not real in this moment. Maybe I don't know in the future, but right now it's impossible to be invisible.
That would be the idea. Probably, guys, you already remember, if we get grammatical a little bit when we, at some point, well, I know you know with me specifically, talking about conditionals. In this case, we're going to have a look at some information that is going to help us to identify when we're talking about hypothetical situations. In this case, starting with if, okay? And the thing is that we are talking about things that maybe we consider that in a hypothetical world they will happen, but actually they are not true. They are more like of a dream, like the example of what would you do if you were invisible, or maybe we're talking about really, really improbable situations to happen in the future. Let's have a look at the first example. It says, if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. I probably won't win the lottery, but I'm talking about in a very imaginary situation. What would be the possible outcome of this specific, let's say, moment or action, or let's say effect? That would be winning the lottery. If I met the Queen of England, I would say hello. Of course, that's more impossible now than never. She would travel all over the world if she were rich. She would pass the exam if she ever studied. If we have a look at this statement, what would be like the, let's say, implicit idea? She never studies, so this won't happen. That's the idea when with this type of situations, remember that means that we're talking about things that are impossible. In some cases, we use were, like in this example, and not was. This can happen precisely because the situation is hypothetical. We already know, or probably you have already noticed that in this type of statements, we're using the past simple of the verbs. But of course, based on the context, we are not talking about situation in past. You already know what these situations actually mean. We're talking about something hypothetical. And that is the moment, the only moment where we can use were, or it is okay to use was. Where actually is more correct in this case. John, you raise your hand, tell me.
Teacher, is this the second conditional, isn't it?
Is this the second conditional? Very good.
Okay.
That would be the one, yes. Yeah, because in some cases we want to be really precise, with the type of structure that we use, and was is fine. If you remember, let's go back in here. The second one, if I was invisible, and it's perfect. Where, as I was telling you, in this type of idea, the hypothetical thing, it's a little bit more common. But at the end of the day, you can use whatever you want. Yes, Brian, tell me.
Teacher, I have a question. Why we don't use could and instead we use would?
Could gives the possibility for it to happen. Like somehow it gives it a little of reality. But once again, because the context is something like impossible, something like a dream. So using would like somehow place it on a different, let's say, dimension, like probably that situation is not going to happen like ever in our life. Like the question that we had today, what would you do if you were invisible? But if we say, what could you do? Could makes it real. That is why in terms of the general idea, is not correct. In terms of grammar, it's correct because we're using a modal and that's the idea of that second part. But then it doesn't match with the situation. It is supposed to be hypothetical. Could gives it reality. Okay?
Okay, teacher, I understand.
Okay, Brian, very good. And actually, John was talking about something interesting. Let's call it interesting in our, let's say, syntactic world. He said, is it the second conditional? As you can imagine, if there is a second conditional, because there is a zero conditional and there is one conditional number 1, and there is also conditional number 3. Sorry. So what would be the difference? And also connecting a little bit to what Brian was asking. In the first conditional, we're given reality, precisely because we're using tenses in present that somehow gives the idea that this hypothetical situation has more probability to occur. For example, if I have enough money, I'll buy some new shoes. In this statement, what is the possible outcome to happen? That I will receive money, okay? Probably from the salary, from whatever thing. And because of that situation, what is going to be the result? Buying some shoes. So with this grammatical structure of the first conditional, we're having the idea that it is real. This is going to happen. While in the case of the second conditional, it's just imaginary, it's just a dream, and the probability for it to happen is minimum, not to say 0, okay? That goes like the difference between the two of them. And then eventually, when you study the third conditional, we will be talking about hypothetical situations in the past, which are even more impossible to happen. But that would be like a moment in the future, okay? So guys, do you have any questions about the conditional number 2 in this case? While I set up our next activity. Well, as usual, when we practice is when we see if we need to make some adjustments, okay? Let's see. Okay. This is the next activity. I'm gonna give you a link. We have been using Wordwall a lot these days. And as you already noticed, the sentences are divided into 2 parts. The part that contains if, and the part that of course contains like that possible result to happen, okay? Now, what you have to do is to match the parts so the statements make sense. Once again, with the same line that we're talking about a situation that is imaginary, that is a dream, that probably it won't happen. So, I'm going to make it at random, okay? Well, actually, this is a good exercise. This would be absolutely incorrect because I would be matching 2 statements that begin with if, that can't happen. In this case, I have to begin with something that starts with would. So that makes sense. In terms of grammar, remember that this would work, but then if I read the statement, it wouldn't make sense. And the same idea, I can't start a statement with would and then the second part with would. To make it work, so the 2 parts, let's say, work perfectly, one has if and the other one contains would. That is going to be the idea. As you notice, probably I think that this is the one, but then I notice that I make the mistake. Then I move it to this one. You can make all the adjustments that you want, okay? When you have it all finished, you click on enviar respuestas and that would be it. Questions, guys, before I send you the link?
No, teacher, is clear.
There's the link. It's very short, it's very easy, but anyway, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. It's a contest, you know, then we will have a look at the podium and then let's see if you have any questions to be answered. Could you confirm please that the link is working?
Yes, teacher, it works.
Perfect. 5 minutes, let's see. Okay, guys, time's up. 5 minutes, 20 participants. Excellent. Let's see if there was any change. Remember, the idea is to answer all of them correctly. That would be like the first step, maybe to analyze. And the second, the amount of time. So the podium would be Sarai on first place, Christian second place, and Daniela third place. Very good. And then all of you guys over there. Nice. Let's have a look at the statements. Remember the idea, trying to combine them so they made sense. That was like the purpose, you know. I know that probably in some cases the combinations would fit, but then there would be one crazy statement, you know, like the cause and the consequence wouldn't make sense. And that's what we had to make the corrections. This is the answer key. Of course, most of you already got all the 10 answers correct, but just in case, guys, do you have any question?
Teacher, I don't understand so well what is the difference between a first and second conditional?
Yes. The first conditional is more realistic. For example, if I have more money, I will buy like a new house. But in that idea, when I use present and I use future, what is going to be my intention? Like in reality, there is a possibility for me like to have the money, and then the result of having that money would be to buy the car. So like this intention in terms of grammar would be it. But if I use this second conditional is when we're talking about those imaginary situations, like the example that we had today. If I were invisible, I would travel to another country, something like that. It is impossible to be invisible, right? Or if I were a millionaire, I would buy a judge. Of course, I'm not a billionaire, right? That is the idea. Si yo fuera, but then it is an intention like it is almost impossible to achieve because it's imaginary. So this is the grammatical structure that we use when we are talking about crazy things, because they are like that, something impossible and more related like to a dream, maybe. Better?
Sure. Okay, and second conditional is with would.
With would,
And first conditional
could be with will, with can, with could, as Brian was asking. Could makes it real, like it is possible to happen. Can, could, you know, gives possibility. While would is like, no, it is not going to occur. Sarai says, first problem situation 50-50, second not problem and a real situation.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
Like what would you do if you married Leonardo DiCaprio, something like that?
Okay,
so like
okay.
Very far.
But both is on one sentences in future, and the second is with, how do you say that? Adverb with probability, because
model of probability.
Yes, exactly. Model. Okay.
Yeah, they have that sense of future, like what, for example, what would you do if you married Leonardo DiCaprio? So of course it is not about the past, it is something like in my imaginary world of the future, but once again it's imaginary. So they have that sense of future, but one is real and one is unreal.
Okay, sure, thanks.
Okay, Daniela, good. Guys, any other question? Of course, we will continue practicing. Okay, another aspect that I wanted like to point out from our exercise, because that is very common when we do this type of exercises, is that our idea that we have affirmative, affirmative. That's it. Notice that we can make the statements negative as well. For example, this one, I would see clearly if I didn't need classes, because the grammatical structure that I'm using with if is past. When the statement is negative, I have to use the auxiliary didn't, okay? Or wasn't or weren't. Let's say that that part in essence can't be forgotten. We are using the grammatical structure of past. That means that I have to respect that grammatical structure. That is a very important aspect to keep in mind. Also, I can start the statements with wouldn't. It's perfectly fine. Having wouldn't at the beginning and having didn't in the second part. Of course, the idea that they make sense. So let's not keep the idea, you know, that all the statements have to be affirmative, like most of the statements that we have in here. The real intention at the end of the day is that it's unreal. If it is affirmative or negative in terms of grammar, that is not that relevant. So don't, let's say, forget the fact that we still have to respect the grammatical structures that we already know. Okay, guys, in our books, that is page 100. Here we have an exercise that says practice 1A. I'm going to read the instructions for you. It says, complete the conversation with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Notice that in total we have, let's say, 5 short conversations, okay? That is going to be the idea. What you have to do is to complete them, of course, keeping in line, or in mind, actually, that we are talking about hypothetical situations. Guys, this exercise, you will be doing it in groups, okay? I will send you to breakout rooms. There are 5, okay, very good. The idea that, of course, in your group, well, but some of you probably have problem with connection of maybe groups of 3. The idea is to make to make sure that you see in which moments we use if or the combination after if, then the part that we use it with would. So make sure that those aspects are like in mind. That would be it. Remember, guys, we're talking about page 100. Then when we get back, we will check the answers, of course, taking into account that we are talking about mini conversations. Guys, are the instructions clear?
Yes.
Very good. In the moment that everybody goes to the room, you will have 10 minutes. I think that having in mind that there will be groups of 3, there is one group of 4. For you, it will be more than 5. And you are like really smart. So, well, let's start. Andrés, Brian y Natalie. Bueno, Brian y Natalie, cuéntenme. ¿No les sale el link para ingresar?
No, teacher, no me deja. O sea,
Eh,
como cuando entró me sacó, pero no sé si da el internet.
puede ser porque... Rayos.
Profe, qué
Señora,
pena. ¿Nos puedes
lo de
habilitar
la
para
pantalla. Sí, lo siento. Ya la habilité. Natalie, si quieres esto... Ah, ya.
Sorry, teacher. I was drinking water.
Okay, don't
I'm
worry, Brian.
enjoying now.
Perfect. I'm going to group number 2.
The
Sorry,
opportunities.
guys.
Sorry.
Hello.
You. No, ya. Es que no dejaba compartir
Ay.
pantalla.
Sí, lo siento, pero it's already fixed.
No, sí, thanks. Sorry.
Okay, bye.
Listo.
Well, guys, welcome back. I'm sure that you had plenty of time to check your answers and also to compare, to make sure that you were using the proper, let's say, grammatical combinations, all those things. Let me share sound, because now the second part of the instruction says, I'm going to read the instruction for you. It says, listen and check which sentences do you agree with, which sentences don't you agree with, and what would you do instead in those situations. So of course, the first that we're going to do is to listen to make sure that we have, let's say, the information requested. And then we would move to the part where you tell me the ones you agree, the ones you wouldn't agree, sorry, and the ones no. And in some of them, what would you do from your perspective, your point of view, what you believe? So let's listen. Let me share sound. We will listen twice, just to make sure that you get the whole information, but I'm sure that with once actually would be enough.
Recording 7. 1.
If you had the opportunity, would you listen to what other people said about you behind your back?
I don't think so. I'd be too worried about what I might hear. 2.
Would you ever steal money, if no one could find out?
No, I'd never steal money. Even if no one knew, I'd feel guilty.
3.
If someone did something really unkind to you, would you take revenge?
I don't think so. I'd try to forget about it and focus on other things.
If someone was really horrible to one of my family, I might do something horrible back to them.
4. If you were suspicious of your partner, would you ever follow him?
No, I think that would be a really stupid thing to do. If I thought he was doing something wrong, I'd ask him about it.
5. Would you ever travel first class without a ticket?
I'm a real coward, so no, I wouldn't dare. If someone caught me, I'd feel so embarrassed.
I want to play it one more time.
Unit 10, Recording 7. 1.
If you had the opportunity, would you listen to what other people said about you behind your back?
I don't think so. I'd be too worried about what I might hear. 2.
Would you ever steal money, if no one could find out?
No, I'd never steal money. Even if no one knew, I'd feel guilty.
3.
If someone did something really unkind to you, would you take revenge?
I don't think so. I'd try to forget about it and focus on other things.
If someone was really horrible to one of my family, I might do something horrible back to them.
4. If you were suspicious of your partner, would you ever follow him?
No, I think that would be a really stupid thing to do. If I thought he was doing something wrong, I'd ask him about it.
5. Would you ever travel first class without a ticket?
I'm a real coward, so no, I wouldn't dare. If someone caught me, I'd feel so embarrassed.
Okay, let me stop sharing sound. Also, before we go to the part where you share the ones you agree with, what you would do in the situations, let me share the answer key. So you can compare to yours as well, and then also to analyze some of the answers, compare to your answers, the ones that you already listened, the ones that you shared as a group. Do you have any
Teacher?
question? I really hope that you do. Yes, tell me.
Sorry, that, how do you say apostrophe? Like
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe of number one, literal B is would or is in future?
No, that is would, Daniela. You are
Would?
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, would be.
Very
Okay.
good. Yeah, and probably you notice that when people were answering, it is not that easy to notice, right? Like they speak really fast. So that is almost like not that noticeable as we would like to listen to it. But in case that it's the contraction for it. Yeah, guys, any other question?
Teacher?
Yes, Angelica?
So we always use past simple when we try to describe some possibility, but it's second conditional.
Yes, so when we begin the if part, that part of the idea is always in past simple. Mm-hmm. And that is the idea of the second conditional, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Also notice, guys, like connecting a little bit with some of the questions that you were asking, how real something becomes, you know, when we use a different modal. For example, in the case of number 3, the second intervention of the woman, that she's asking the guy if he would do something, if someone would do something to his family, if someone did something really unkind, so he gives the answer. And then notice her answer in this case. She says, if someone was really horrible to me of my family, she didn't say I would do. She said I might do in number 3, right? So, of course, what we use, because at the end of the day, it's based on our perception. This situation, like someone doing hurtful things to us or our family, unfortunately, is possible. Different to living 1,000 years, traveling to, I don't know, to Jupiter. Those things are way too unrealistic, right? Probably for us, maybe in the future that will happen. So at the end of the day, let's say the combination that you use is based on your perception. In her case, that was real, and she somehow provides that mini probability, because you know that might is a really low percentage model, but percentage model at the end of the day. So of course we like have to make the balance, you know, which cases are completely like untrue, just dreams, and in which cases things become a little bit real. And then in that case, what we do would be to use a model to make it realistic, you know. Let me go back. Any other question that you want to ask, guys, before we move to the second part of this activity? Okay.
Teacher, the sound of a apostrophe would sound like will not. It's a little similar.
Well, not really, because it's a D. I'll. Now the place of articulation changes, Daniela.
I'll?
Mm-hmm. Well, now that you put it like that, it looks like similar, but no, because one is alveolar and the other one is like a little bit behind. You know, I'll. Maybe. Oh, you speak really fast. It can look a little bit similar. Well, we have 5, let's say, interesting situations. Why not? Luisa Fernanda Paredes, I would like to tell us which sentences don't you agree with? The one that you don't. And what would you do? Choose from the 5 situations, choose one that you don't agree And what would you do?
Now, teacher, maybe I think I'm agreeing with all.
You agree with all of them?
Okay, maybe the first. I will listen
You
what
would
other people
listen?
said about me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to listen. I won't feel bad.
Okay, and like similar, like next to the person or maybe listening from a different place or with a microphone. How would that be?
Maybe with a microphone. Or if I was invisible.
Okay, very good. Connecting with the invisibility thing.
Yeah. Yeah, teacher.
Okay. Lisa, thank you very much. Andres, what about you? Which one you don't agree with? And how different would be your, let's say, reaction to it?
Okay. I think the first one, but I will choose other.
Strategy?
The second. Teacher, what's the correct meaning of could find out?
Find out es darse cuenta o descubrir.
Okay, so I wouldn't steal money.
And you wouldn't steal money. No matter the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, of course, Andres, is your opinion. That would be it. Let's see. We can find a different opinion over here. Sylvia. Which one you don't agree with and how different your reaction would be?
I think I don't agree with the first answer to the third question.
Okay, let's talk about the third one.
If someone does something to my family or someone that I love you, I think I will take revenge.
Okay. In very realistic terms.
Yeah.
Okay, Sylvia, of course. Thank you very much. Okay, a voice that I may haven't heard tonight. I haven't heard Andrea. What about you?
Teacher, it's about which sentences don't agree.
Yeah. And how different would you, let's say, react? Or how different would you do those things?
I think I react different for the third one because, I don't think that we can sort out the situation take if I take revenge. I think that we can forget and move on and try to do the things in a better form.
Okay, Andrea, thank you very much. That's very zen from you. Nice. Let me ask one more. Gilbert, what about you? The one you don't agree with? And how different would you react? Gilbert, I see that your microphone is on, but there is no sound at all. No, Gilbert, sorry. I actually can't hear anything. Let me see the chat. Yeah, me too. Yeah, because I see the microphone, but nothing happens. Definitely not. Okay, that means that we still have one, let's say, a space open to finish this activity, and I'm going to ask Daniela Lozada. What about you? To wrap it up, the one that you don't agree with and what you would do different.
I don't agree with the 5.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Travel first class.
Yes, I would like to travel even if I don't have a ticket.
So you would do it.
Yes.
Okay. That's it, Daniela. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, very good. Well, I know that all of us would react differently upon certain situations. Some of them are funny, some of them are a little bit more, let's say, delicate. Why not? But okay. At the end of the day, never say never. We are going to read here. Let me share the whole screen with you. We're going to read here some, well, actually they are taken from the book, by the way. Dilemmas, that's the word that I was looking for in my mind, but I knew it was on the book. We're going to read 9 dilemmas, okay? The idea basically is that we are going to see, or you are going to share actually what you would do on these situations. There are 9. Christian, please, could you read 1, 2, and 3? Only read them.
Okay. Travel on a train without a ticket. Lie to someone close to you. Pretend to be ill to get a day off work or college.
That would be it. Let's see. 4, 5, and 6. John, please, could you read them?
Sorry, teacher, which one?
4, 5, and 6.
Okay. Lend a large sum of money to a friend. Drive about the speed limit.
Or 5 and 6. 6 is missing.
6 is missing. Hit someone.
That's it. Very good. And then we have 7, 8, and 9. Sarai.
Give a lift in your car to a complete stranger. Keep someone money that you found in the street. Walk out of a restaurant without paying.
Notice how it starts. Would you ever, under what circumstances? Okay. So what you're going to do is that out of these 9 dilemmas, you're going to choose 5. And you would decide what you would do. Notice that now in this second part with the shared exercise that you did, now we're talking about not only like crazy and dreamy imaginary situations, now we're talking about things that can become a little bit more realistic. So of course, once again, I'm not asking you to type about the whole 5, the whole 10, 9, sorry. The idea is that you're going to choose 5. First of all, let me send you the link to the chat. I'm going to share with you. I didn't have the image open, sorry. So you know the slide that you are supposed to land on. So we don't make mistakes. Give me a second. There it is. Very good. So guys, what is going to be the idea? Of course, talking about the imaginary situations. You have to choose only 5, you know, and what would you do? I'm sure that then we will see all different possibilities among all of you. Guys, could you tell me if you can actually edit the slide without any problem?
Teacher, can you send the link again, please?
Sure.
Yes, teacher, no problem.
Perfect. There it is. There you go. Remember, guys, the first thing to do is to type your name. So, well, at this point, I think that you already know, but let's not take anything for granted. Remember, you don't have to try about all 9. You only have to choose 5 of them.
Teacher,
Yes.
so if I start one of the sentences, I have to say if I would. Like
If
that.
I would, no,
Oh,
remember.
sorry, I would la la la, and then if I blah blah blah.
Yes, that would be the idea.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Welcome. Okay, let's start with 10 minutes and then I will start having a look at your statements to see if you have any question or any correction. So I'm not going to interrupt you during these 10 minutes. Starting now.
Teacher, this is like this is like we can find in the pen drive. Sorry.
I haven't uploaded them. I'm gonna do it right now. Yes, let me do it now.
Profe, qué pena es que hay alguien en el mío.
Ay, Dios mío. Guay. ¿En cuál?
Ah, no, ya lo borro. Ya. Qué pena, profe.
Don't worry, no. Don't worry, Jory. Yo sé que la costumbre de que ya 3 ciclos, ay, debe ser la misma. No, it's changing. Por eso siempre coloco la imagen, pero como que no la miran.
Alguien está en el mío y yo ya había escrito. No sé qué pasó.
Hi, teacher. Sorry, Mayra, you are in my slide. I'm 19 and you are the 18.
Sí, pero Mayra estaba en el mío.
And Stephanie is in the mine.
Something happened
Angelica.
because I wrote in the number 12 and then my name was in number 13.
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. Something is happening with the
I don't see my name in the image.
Es que, ¿por qué hay 24? Si somos 23.
Teacher, can someone send the link through WhatsApp, please?
Okay, guys, please send it through WhatsApp. Yeah, because, mira, Jennifer es en la 24, no sé por qué si Jennifer debería ser en la 23. No sé si era que alguien estaba escribiendo.
Yo creo que alguien añadió una extra porque está en 23 y
sí, yo
como
siempre...
que todos nos corrimos.
Me añadieron una diapositiva.
Y bien arriba, entonces.
Sí, yo escribí en la 13 y luego me tocó borrar de la 14 y pasar la 13 otra vez porque como que se agregó un...
Profe, yo falto ahí en la imagen. ¿Me agrego al final o...?
¿Me repites?
Que yo falto en la imagen y no me falta.
No te entiendo, lo siento, es que el sonido te sale como raro.
Ah, profe, eso que mi nombre hace falta.
¿En la lista?
Sí, señora.
Qué vergüenza. Entonces, Daniela, sí debería ser la 24.
Ok, vale.
Voy a agregar una diapositiva. En la última parte no debe pasar nada. Listo, Daniela, la 24. Lo siento.
Listo, profe.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
in the case that, I mean, there is something related with the purpose of the sentence in that hypothetical situation, but it's not exact the same thing we can write about it.
I need more information, Kristen. What do you mean?
So, I mean, the first one, pretending to be ill. So you can do other things to get the day of the work off.
Okay,
Not
well,
only
that would
illness.
be, okay, that would be like the, let's say the explanation that you provide, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I see your point. Yeah, you can make the adjustment.
Okay.
Good.
Teacher, I'm sorry for bothering you. So I
Don't worry.
didn't get what the activity is. For example, I choose 5 questions, right? So what am I supposed to do?
So for example, would you ever travel on a train without a ticket? Let's say, I'm going to say just whatever thing comes to my mind. Yes, I would travel on a train without a ticket if I didn't have enough money and it was really, really late, something like that. Or no, I would never do that. I would call a friend to ask for a loan or something. That is the idea. Like, what would you do in a situation like that and under which circumstances?
Okay, basically is to answer the question like in a positive way. Yes, I would do it if this and this and this, right?
No, not necessarily, because it could be negative, you know. For example, no, I
Oh, I wouldn't
wouldn't.
do it.
Exactly, because this and this and that. So not only yes or no, but like the final part says, under what circumstances. So you like provide a little of extra information.
Okay, teacher. Thank you so much for explaining me that.
Sure, welcome.
Teacher,
Tell me.
how do you say tráfico de coches? O
Traffic.
eso no tiene una connotación negativa, o sea, eso no hace referencia siempre como a tráfico de drogas o algo así.
No, el contexto. No, traffic is fine.
Ah, ok, ok. Vale.
Teacher, I got a question.
Tell me.
Can we use only if to emphasize something?
Well, actually, there are other words. We can use when. That is another possibility. But the most common in this type of combination is if.
Yes, but my question is, can I use only if? Como decir solo si. O solo si. O pongo just if. And that's it.
Solo si.
Yes, for example, I want to say I would give a lift in my car to a complete stranger only if.
I see your point. Yes, that's the only one.
Yes, can I use it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. I want to start having a look at your ideas, guys. We still have 4 minutes left before the bell rings, by the way. Entonces, number 1, Sarai. I would know if I didn't. Recuerda que después del didn't debe ir un verbo. ¿Listo? No es verbo. Entonces, eso es. Well, let me share the whole screen. Number 4. Como son dos verbos, hay que separar con to. If I needed to go. Pareciera que fuera repetitivo porque dice to go to, pero no. Así está bien. Nos suena mal que hayan dos to seguidos, por decirlo así. Ok. Voy a mirar de arriba y de abajo. I'm looking at Danielas. Lo saben. Daniela Lozada, la segunda revisa el verbo de la segunda oración. La primera saben, como para que haya la concordancia. No, ese está bien. Ese estaba bien. Es need. Como va if. Y la primera parte va con would. ¿Cómo nos tocaría ponerlo?
¿En pasado?
Exacto, sí, señora.
No recuerdo cómo se llama.
Is regular.
Sí.
Ok. Nice. Y acá en la cuarta, Daniela, I would hit someone if it. Nos toca es un demostrativo. No este del pronombre, sino este como el que nos señala. If this person. Okay. Let's see, Christians. Dicen entonces en la tercera, para que haya concordancia en número, I already did those kinds of things. Porque con those está marcando que es plural. The transforming of the neighborhood was being, estaba siendo. Entonces toca being. No el participio, sino en gerundio, con ing. Entonces estaba siendo reparado. Sí. Entonces el reparado también necesita ayuda, por decirlo así, para que quede en past participle. Es como lo primero rápidamente, y luego entraré en detalles. Only if. Okay. I'm going to have a look at Jennifer's. Jennifer, pilas con el verbo en la primera. Es decir, la parte de would, me atrevo a decir que no tiene, pierde quizás sea la palabra. Ay, no, chica. Stolen es el verbo en pasado participio. Es. One of the most valuable aspects. Porque estamos diciendo que es uno entre una lista de varios aspectos. Friend of mine, if she needed. This I had a emergency, I would not walk to the restaurant. Okay, that would be Jennifer. Let's have a look at Andres's. Well, a couple of minutes. Thank you. Someone close to me. If entonces, Andrés, I wouldn't like to someone who's close to me, comma, if wasn't necessary. If it wasn't necessary. Si esto, es decir, esa acción de mentir, no fuera necesaria. Ahora, ¿cuántos tiene? If the road and traffic allow me. Pilas con los verbos, Andrés. La parte de if para que pues, mantenga la concordancia, la idea es que vayan en pasado.
Sí, teacher, pero eso me sonó raro.
No sé, al momento de hacer la traducción como que uno siente que no encaja, pero pues
Ok,
digamos
ok.
así es como debería ir.
Ok.
Sí, porque no sé si me lo permite, o no sé si me lo permitiera, me permitiese, entonces sí, como que al momento de pasarlo suena raro, pero pues that's the way it is. I knew that it's money. That I have experimented, okay? Generally, it is okay. I already checked. Let's have a look at Ana Maria's. That would be is the last one. Ana María, entonces recuerda, para que mantengamos la concordancia que la situación es imaginaria, ¿no? Probably I would travel on a train, sorry. Debe ser on a train, without a ticket. Maybe if I didn't have an option, como que tal vez si yo no tuviera la opción, porque lo estamos manteniendo en ese plano, ¿no? Without money, without my phone. If I'm if I'm in a hard situation, I would do. If I'm in a hard situation, si yo estoy. Nuevamente, el am estamos diciendo que está ocurriendo en este momento. Entonces, más bien, if I was. Entonces, si yo estuviera en una situación difícil, yo lo haría. Porque am sería como que en este momento precisamente eso le está ocurriendo. If I were in a situation, or if it is completely necessary. Entonces, nuevamente, si esto de que estamos hablando, la situación como tal, fuera completamente necesaria. If I needed. Y lo mismo, entonces pilas con los verbos en if. Como seguimos en el plan imaginario, deben ir en pasado simple. Okay. Well, guys, of course, there are more aspects that need to be checked. The idea, of course, is to have a look at them in a more, let's say, precise way. What is going to show you? Yes, Sarah, tell me.
Teacher, I have a question with my last sentence. Can you look at me, please?
I'm going to look at your sentences, not at you. But let's see. I would keep some money that I found.
Okay.
If no one saw me. I will keep some money that, porque ya that nos envía a otro tipo de oración, como que yo me encontrara, y ese encontrara viene siendo este, porque si decimos would find sería encontraría y ya se nos cambia la idea del would de condicional para hacer el would de situación hipotética. Okay, good. Guys, okay, sorry, thank you. Guys, I actually had forgotten to upload the materials from Friday and today while you were creating your sentences. I did that part.
Sorry, I had a question.
Tell me. Natalie, yes.
If I want to say, if someone, I do this for the moral dilemma, and I say, if someone pisses me off, I will hit him. It's correct to say that?
Yeah, if someone pissed, like in pass me off, I would hit
yes,
him.
teacher, in pass. Okay,
that's
teacher, thank you.
Okay.
Teacher, thank you.
Well, guys, don't forget only 5, by the way, but good answers as usual. Guys, the material is already there. Have a look at them, of course, if you consider that it's necessary. Guys, as usual, thank you very much. Have a nice evening, night. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, teacher.
Everybody.